Remember 2017? That was the year Dodge killed the Viper, and a lot of us thought we'd never see another one. 8 years of silence, 8 years of watching the last ACRs become collector pieces while Dodge focused on Hellcats and Demons. Most of us figured the Viper was done forever. Too dangerous, too impractical, too expensive to make compliant with modern regulations. Well, forget everything you thought you knew because the snake is back and it's angrier than ever. The 2026 Dodge Viper is coming with 720 horsepower from a naturally aspirated V10. No turbos, no superchargers, no hybrid nonsense, just 8.4 liters of displacement, screaming to 8,200 RPM through side exit exhaust that will set off car alarms 3 blocks away. And here's what makes this interesting. Dodge isn't just bringing back an old name to cash in on nostalgia. They're throwing down against the Corvette 06 and the Mustang GT, two cars that have been dominating every conversation about American performance. Chevy went mid-engine and sophisticated. Ford went racing, homologation, and tech-heavy. Dodge looked at both of them and said, "We're going to build the most visceral, most analog, most terrifying thing on 4 wheels. No traction control nannies, no computer telling you how to drive. Just you, a massive engine, rear-wheel drive, and whatever courage you brought with you. Stick around because we're breaking down everything about this car. The insane powertrain, the track-focused chassis, the pricing that might actually make sense, and why this Viper might be the last true American sports car before regulations kill everything we love." To understand why this return matters, you have to understand what the Viper always was. Back in 1992, Dodge did something completely insane. They took a V10 engine originally designed for trucks, dropped it into a fiberglass roadster with no door handles, no air conditioning, no anti-lock brakes, and basically no safety equipment. Then they sold it to the public and said good luck. The original Viper made 400 horsepower, which doesn't sound crazy today, but this was 1992. Corvettes were making 300 and struggling. The Viper was a rocket ship with the ergonomics of a torture device. The side pipes would burn your legs if you touched them getting out. The interior got hot enough to cook breakfast. And if you lifted off the throttle mid-corner, the back end would swap faster than you could blink. People died in Vipers. Insurance companies refused to cover them. And enthusiasts absolutely loved every terrifying second behind the wheel. Through 5 generations, Dodge never softened the formula. While every other manufacturer was adding stability control and automatic transmissions and all-wheel drive, the Viper stayed pure. Manual transmission only. Rear-wheel drive only. A V10 that grew from 8.0 to 8.4 liters, making 645 horsepower by the end. So why did it die? The answer is boring but predictable. Emissions regulations kept getting stricter. Safety. Standards required expensive crash testing, and Dodge was only selling about 600 Vipers per year. The math stopped working. In 2017, they built the final cars, and the last ACR set track records at 13 different circuits on its farewell tour. Now Dodge is back because they watched Chevrolet sell every 06 they could build. They watched Ford charge $325,000 for the Mustang GTD and get waitlists. The market proved that people will pay serious money for serious performance. Stellantis needs a flagship, and nothing makes a statement like bringing back the most dangerous car in American history. Let's talk about the motor because this is where Dodge went completely against the grain. Every manufacturer right now is chasing turbochargers and electrification. Smaller displacement, forced induction, hybrid boost. It's efficient, it's smart, it's also kind of boring. Dodge looked at all that and built an 8.4-liter naturally aspirated V10, making 720 horsepower. No turbos spooling, no electric motors filling in torque gaps, just 10 cylinders inhaling air and fuel and converting it into noise and velocity. This engine revs to 8,200 RPM. Peak horsepower arrives at 7,800 RPM, which means you have to wring its neck to get everything out of it. This isn't a lazy muscle car motor that makes all its power down low. This is a high-strung racing engine that rewards drivers who keep it on the boil. Torque sits around 650 pound-feet, arriving at 5,000 RPM. That's unusually high in the rev range for an American V anything. Most pushrod V8s peak at 4,000 or lower. The Viper wants you to shift later and drive harder. Transmission options include a 6-speed manual as standard equipment. If you want the Viper experience, you roll your own gears. An 8-speed dual-clutch automatic is optional for those who prioritize lap times over engagement. The numbers are violent. 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. Top speed over 200 miles per hour. Quarter mile in the high 10s. But here's what matters more than straight-line speed. The car weighs around 3,350 pounds thanks to carbon fiber body panels and an aluminum chassis. That's lighter than the Corvette Z06, lighter than the Mustang GTD, better power-to-weight ratio than both. This Viper isn't built for drag strips and roll races. It's built for canyon roads and road courses where that screaming V10 and lightweight chassis can work together through corners. The kind of driving that turbo lag and numb steering have been slowly killing for the past decade. Walk up to the new Viper and the first thing you notice is that front end. It's aggressive without being cartoonish. A functional splitter extends forward, low enough to scrape on parking lot entrances but effective enough to plant the nose at triple-digit speeds. The air intakes are actual intakes feeding the engine and cooling the brakes. Nothing here is decorative. The hood has that classic Viper bulge because there's no other way to fit a V10 underneath. Heat extractors vent hot airs from the engine bay and they work. Previous Vipers would heat soak after a few hard laps. This one was designed with track day cooling in mind. Classic proportions remain intact. Long hood, short rear deck. The silhouette is unmistakably Viper even though every panel is new. Side exhaust pipes exit just behind the front wheels exactly where they belong. The sound comes at you from the side, not from behind. It's part of the experience. Around back sits a massive rear diffuser that actually generates downforce rather than just looking fast. An adjustable rear wing offers multiple positions from street-friendly to maximum attack. In full race configuration, the Aero package generates 200 pounds of downforce at 150 miles per hour. That's supercar territory. The taillights are modern LEDs, but they echo the original Viper design. Heritage without being stuck in the past. Inside the cabin, everything focuses on the driver. Carbon fiber racing seats hold you tight during lateral loads. An Alcantara-wrapped steering wheel gives you grip feedback that leather can't match. Screens are minimal because Dodge understood that people buying Vipers don't care about infotainment systems. The base model comes ready for track days out of the box. Adaptive dampers with multiple modes. Carbon ceramic brakes that won't fade after 20 minutes of hard driving. Optional track tires from the factory. Word is an ACR variant arrives within a year of launch. Expect 800 horsepower, extreme aerodynamics, weight reduction everywhere possible, and lap times that embarrass cars costing twice as much. The Corvette 06 with Z07 package and the Mustang GT finally have American competition again. Here's where Dodge makes their smartest move. Base price lands between $120,000 and $130,000. That undercuts the Corvette 06 and sits nearly $200,000 below the Mustang GT. For a car with more horsepower and less weight than both competitors, the ACR variant will likely run $150,000 to $160,000 when it arrives. Still cheaper than a 06 with every option box checked. Still half the price of a GT allocation if you can even get one. Production stays limited at 2,500 to 2,000 units per year. The ACR will represent maybe 20% of that total. Orders open early 2026 with deliveries starting by summer. If you want one, you need to move fast. Previous ACR models are already trading above their original sticker prices on the secondary market. But forget the investment potential for a second. Think about what this car represents in 2026. No hybrid system, no all-wheel drive, no lane keeping assist or automatic emergency braking taking control away from you. Just a massive naturally aspirated engine, a manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, and the understanding that you're responsible for keeping it between the lines. We need cars like this. Every year the regulations get tighter. Every year the computers get more intrusive. Every year driving becomes less about skill and more about letting software manage everything. The Viper exists as a statement that driving can still be dangerous and engaging and completely alive. It's a middle finger to the sanitized, focus-grouped, liability lawyer-approved machines that fill every dealership lot. Some of us want cars that demand respect. Cars that punish mistakes. Cars that make you a better driver because they have to. So tell me in the comments, are you excited the Viper is back, or do you think Dodge should have let the legend rest? Would you actually buy one knowing there's no safety net? Drop your thoughts below and let's talk about it. If this video helped you understand what's coming, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're covering every update on the Viper as it happens, plus deep dives on the Z06, the GTD, and everything else fighting for the American performance crown. The snake is alive. The V10 is screaming. And for at least a few more years, driving still means something. Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Opus 4.5.